All right, why don't we jump in? Um, so my name is Brian Covey. I know you're probably used to seeing Landon here. Landon is celebrating his Mother's Day with his mother um, right now, so I'm filling in for him. I'm very excited to see you. Very excited to introduce our speakers here in just a second. Um, and as always, we'd love to hear what you're going to say. We're having a little different format this time in the sense it's going to be far less presentation and more discussion. So feel free to participate in that. You can put things in chat or you can unmute yourself and talk. We would love to hear from you. So let me go in here. So we love doing these virtual info sessions. We learn a lot from you. We hope you're learning from us as well. Um, I think it's a great way. I mean, to me, this is what technology is great about. It's being able to connect us without us having to leave our office, and we can talk. Okay, so my name is Brian Covey. As I said, I'm a director of operations here. I don't have a pretty picture like Landon. He takes really good headshots. I unfortunately do not. Um, I suppose I should get around to doing one of these days. It seems to be the way everything goes with LinkedIn and Facebook, and I don't like having my picture taken. So our lunch and learn topics, June, we're looking at a session on working with non-custodial parents. As May is for mothers. We'll talk also about the non-custodial parents who are often fathers, uh, but not exclusively. In July, we're looking at back to school options for adults. August is healthcare, another important topic. September is construction careers. Um, so I will tell you, they're always looking for new people to come in because for every 4 people retiring these days, only one person's coming into the trades. And there are some great career opportunities there. And then October, we're going to talk about housing support. And I'll reiterate what Landon always says. If you have ideas or something you want to talk about or you want to host one yourself, give us a shout. We'd be more than happy to set it up. We love being able to learn from each other. Okay. And then at the end of the meeting, a reminder that this is being recorded. So at the end of the meeting today, you'll receive a video of today's session, a PDF of the slide deck. That's what I'm showing you right now. And then the list of FSC offices for your convenience. And we also going to plug our Get Set FSET campaign again. If you're looking for some nice inspirational videos, feel free to check out our page on Get Set FSET. It is I'm more removed from working directly with clients these days, but it makes me happy to be able to see these and see the impact that we're having in communities and how people have really used our services to reach their dreams. Okay, so today we're going to talk about mothers and employment. So May is for mothers. We're talking about W-2, which is just for supporting mothers. It's a program that was designed to help parents with children. The overwhelming majority of our clients in W-2 are mothers. Part of the thing we'll talk about in supporting mothers is FSC training options. And we have with us a couple people who can talk about that. So people who've taken the training, people who deliver the training. And then reaching the other side, what does it look like? What can we do to support mothers more, particularly in this environment that we have now? We're still coming off the pandemic. And speaking of that, found this statistic. It said that mothers are over 20% less likely to hold jobs than fathers. And the pandemic was particularly bad. I heard one person call it a she-cession, where 1.4 million fewer mothers worked in 2020 compared to 2019. And we still haven't recovered from that. I mean, childcare is thin on the ground, and that's probably the number one thing that's keeping mothers out of the workforce these days. And if you can find it, it's also quite expensive. So it's hard. But also supporting them in ways of, how do we have flexible work hours? How do we help upskill women or mothers so they can earn more to take care of their families? So to discuss this topic, today we have Kristen Burrich, who's a skills instructor here, a trainer here at Forward Service Corporation. Can you wave, Kristen? We have Alyssa Powell and Nicole Lybarger, and I'll introduce them separately. These are people who came through our W-2 program, and we're so proud to have them as part of the FSC team. Alyssa Powell is an emergency assistant specialist. She waved before. Let's see. I've got my grid here, but I can't see everybody. And then Nicole Lybarger is a W-2 eligibility FAP. And there she is. Hi, Nicole. And then we have Trevor Steeg, who is our training team lead. So he oversees the training team. And we'll discuss some things about why we develop certain courses, but I also just want to hear from Nicole and Melissa about their journey as mothers, um, economically, emotionally, and all those. Any questions before we jump in? Okay, well, I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm just going to have my video grid up here, and I have chat, and we'll monitor chat, and Amy can help us monitor chat. So if you have questions for Kristen, Alyssa, Nicole, or Trevor, feel free to jump in. I guess I'll start with you, Nicole. Can you kind of tell us about what your journey has been like to working for Forward Service Corporation?
Um, well, it hasn't been easy. Um, that's for sure. Um, I had to really set myself goals. Um, what really pushed me to sign up for W-2 and push through the program, honestly, was my need to support my kids. And I have teenagers, and just trying to instill work ethic into them, and schooling, and just to show them that I'm trying to better myself for to give them a better life, and I want them to work towards that themselves as to growing up into adults. Um, Hi, Sandy. I just saw Sandy's message. Sandy Turner was my W-2 caseworker. Sandy's awesome. Um, she helped me along the way through a lot with just conversations, just talking through things. Even when it came down to whether or not I felt if I was ready to accept my position with FSC. I had a long heart to heart with Sandy about it and discussed my feelings and my fears, and here I am.
So we have a lot of partners on the phone, and they don't necessarily work in W-2. What did you know about W-2 before you actually enrolled? What did you heard?
Um, Going into W-2, so I had previously heard about W-2 prior to my, I guess, signing up this time. I worked with FSC before. I was an EA specialist. So I was familiar with the W-2 program. Um, However, I fully learned about W-2. I wouldn't say fully learned. I had first started hearing things about W-2 probably back in 2015, 2016, around that time. And it was just word of mouth. It was, I'm struggling. I don't know how I'm going to make ends meet. My unemployment ran out. I can't find a job. And it was a friend who actually lived in Dane County who said, "Hey, you need to sign up for W-2. This program will help you with going back to school, or getting you set so you have some money in your pocket while you're looking for work." Um, since then, I've recommended it to anyone I can think of that can benefit from it.
Awesome. Now, Nicole, so you're W-2 eligibility FEP right now. So can you explain to our partners what that means? What do you do?
Um, so I'm the person that when somebody completes an application online, I'm the person that calls them to go over their W-2 application. Um, we go over different questions in regards to qualifications for W-2. If there are things that they have, like assets or school verifications that need to be turned in, I'm their point of contact for that. Um, I also like to talk to our potential participants about um, what they could expect while going into W-2. Um, I've learned that there are some people who sign up for W-2 that just kind of like sign up not knowing what it is, and then they're like, "Oh, wait, I don't want to do this." So I like to try to educate them and just give them an understanding of this is what W-2 is, and this is how you can make it work. This is how I made it work. But you have to follow through with the program.
So let me ask, we have a lot of partners on the phone. Since we have somebody from eligibility, do you have questions or things you hear from your clients about W-2? Things that maybe keep them from applying or things that excite them about applying? Anyone? Golden opportunity here. And you can put them in the chat too.
So this is Vicky. The question I get when I'm helping out at the front desk is, how long does it take usually for someone to get back to a person once they call on the phone or if they apply through Access?
So we typically it's within 24 to 48 hours. We try to get back to them, as soon as time permits. Typically, if they go online and complete their application through Access, they can schedule their I want to say right. They can schedule their W-2 eligibility appointment online through Access, and then it populates into the eligibility specialist calendar, but by whoever's like first available. Otherwise, to call in, like do a resourcing appointment over the phone. Brendan handles that, and he typically gets them scheduled within 7 days to be seen.
Okay, so is it probably better if they do the Access form? Do they get called sooner or is it about the same? What do you think?
It's about the same. It just really depends on our availability. With it is starting to pick up for us now. So we are scheduled about a week out now. Probably about a week and a half out. So typically going online, applying, completing their application, and then they'll at least have an idea of when their appointment will be.
That's good to know, because people will call back and say nobody got a hold of me, and if we know that that's kind of the window, that's helpful. Thank you.
So you mentioned an important word there, access. Is there anybody here who doesn't know what the access system is? And don't be shy on this one. It didn't get a lot of fanfare when it was launched. Do you know what we're talking about? We talk about the access system. And if not, feel free to raise your hand and we'd be happy to talk about it. It's something that with the state of Wisconsin launched where you can apply for benefits online and it goes to a bunch of different things. So you can look at childcare, healthcare, so Badger shares, W-2, food share, a lot of different state benefits.
Brian, I know what access is, but I would bet, I probably should keep track. I would bet 50% of the people that I tell them to use access call me back and say, it's not working for me or I can't figure it out. And then I have to give them the phone number. So people struggle with it.
Yeah, well, and I would say if you do have a client, speaking to our partners right now, if we have a tutorial on our website, so if somebody's interested in applying for W-2, but even if they're looking for food share, any state benefit, we have some tutorials on our website of videos that kind of walk people through it and the kinds of questions they ask just to help them eliminate the mystery about it. It can be kind of a lengthy form at times. So we tried to walk people through it to help them fill it out. I'm going to turn to you now, Kristen. Can you talk a little bit about the skills training we offer?
Yes, I would be happy to share more about that. First, I wanted to introduce myself to everyone. My name is Kristen Burrich. I'm a skills instructor in the Madison area with Forward Service Corporation. Just to start everyone out, I did want to share a link to our FSC training site. It's going to include the information that I'll share about the professionals trainings that we offer. At the top of the training site, there will be tabs for both essential skills trainings and professionals trainings. So I'll tell you more about both of those, but info is on our website. The 2 job skills trainings that we currently offer include office professionals and call center professionals. And the benefit of joining training for learners is learners will develop the skills needed to be successful in either an office or a call center position. And advantages that come with that is learners can then gain a stable schedule, a starting pay of $14 to $18 per hour, benefits and opportunities to move up in their career. In addition, as part of training, learners will come out with an updated resume that stands out to employers. They can add a training certificate to their resume, and they also have opportunity to earn digital badges from Madison Area Technical College and up to 3 free college credits. So that also is going to stand out when they're applying for positions to grow in their career. What also is helpful is that after participants graduate from the professionals training, their skills instructor will work one-on-one with them to help them find a job that they are looking for. We've recently started skills marketing, which is the skills instructor reaches out to employers after the participant has applied and shares the specific skills and experience that candidate has that makes them a great fit for the job. Now, the 2 trainings that we offer, office and call center professionals, both of those classes have career exploration. In addition to updating the resume, learners will also develop an elevator speech so that they can speak about the skills and experience that they can offer to employers and connections. We also help participants prepare for interview questions that are relative to their desired career path, and we give them practice interviews in training. So learners will come out confident and feeling prepared for that next step in their career. We do practice typing on a daily basis and also build soft skills like effective communication, time management, professionalism, problem solving. In terms of the differences between the 2 classes, office and call center professionals, office is focused on using Outlook email and then the Word and Excel programs in Microsoft, versus the call center professionals training will focus on building phone skills for outbound calls, as well as using a database effectively.
Great. Trevor, would you mind talking to how those particular courses, the office and the call center, were selected?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name's Trevor. As Brian said, I am the team lead for our training team here at Forward Service Corporation. So Kristen and I and some other skills instructors work together to deliver the professionals trainings that Kristen was just speaking to. And when we originally selected call center and office professionals as our featured trainings here at FSC, we really took a look at the state of Wisconsin and what jobs there was a lot of growth opportunity for, because there's no point in training for jobs if there's not a lot of growth opportunity out there for participants or clients to enter into after they're done with training. And then we also looked for jobs that had specific career ladders. So we know one of the things with, at least with our clients, is they enter into training and it's a hard sell to tell someone that upon completing this training, you'll be qualified for an entry-level position at X employer or at X industry. And that's where you're going to stay forever. No one wants to hear that. No one's going to take training where that's the case. So we selected industries with career ladders that could show people after they've completed their training with just a couple of years of experience, they can move up through the ladder and get better benefits, get better pay, and accomplish whatever it is they need to support their family or accomplish the goals that they have. So we took a step back. We looked at the state of Wisconsin. We identified call center and office as the 2 key areas with a lot of growth opportunity, a lot of career mobility that people are looking for, excellent family sustaining benefits. And that's why we chose those areas specifically. And I'll add to that, We get a lot of participants, specifically in our call center training, who say, well, I know what a call center is. I don't want to work in a call center. Whenever I get a call from a call center, it's someone collecting a bill or trying to get something from me, or it's a robot. And our training is nothing like that. We really selected industries specifically rather than job specifically. The call center industry is a huge industry. There's a million different types of call centers out there. Everyone at every business in the state has someone who answers phones and manages inbound calls or does marketing. That's a skill set that can be used universally. So our training isn't specifically geared towards one type of job within a call center. It's really geared towards the industry. So those skills are transferable to obviously other industries as well.
Great, thank you. Alyssa, Alyssa Powell, would you mind introducing yourself? And I know you're one of our proud Office Professionals graduates.
Hi, I'm Alyssa, and I am the Emergency Assistant Specialist in Green Bay. And I did graduate Office Professionals. That course pretty much set me up to, get the position that I wanted here. Do you want me to go over?
Yeah, but what was the training like? What was it like for you? What did you
Training was
learn? And
Okay. The training was awesome. I found myself in a position where I had been waitressing. I had been giving half my tips to my babysitter to babysit. I ended up losing my job as a waitress due to the childcare issues that I had. I got enrolled in W-2 and set up for the Office Professionals class. They got me all set up, helped me arrange childcare so I could get there. And then I just really excelled in that class. I was shocked on how organized it was, but also how informative and focused on getting the job that I wanted in an office that it was. And then it was just super laid back and fun. They helped me create a resume with the skills that I already had from waitressing, and helped me, put them on the resume for and word them for jobs that I wanted. I got to do interview skills. They even helped me with interview close. And the biggest thing had to be the work experience that I got, because that was something I didn't have on my resume, was the work experience for an office job. And Ford Service helped me out with that.
Nicole, what about you? Did you have a work experience while enrolled with Ford Service Corporation?
I did not.
No. Because those, we use a lot of, as you probably do too in your organizations, we have acronyms and words we use. So work experience is kind of a structured place where somebody can go and work and gain that experience, and especially networking to get relationships together with people who can provide references.
I can also add on that note, Brian, to work experience, because I think it's important, is our trainings were designed to be in themselves a type of work experience. They're structured to replicate what a work day looks like. The trainer is not only a trainer, they're really acting as a mock supervisor, helping you manage your schedule and understand what's permissible in a professional workplace and how to work within teams and all of this stuff. So the training itself is a work experience that our graduates can speak to. So for instance, if I want to work in a call center and I take a call center professionals training and I go to apply for a call center without having worked at one and I've got no experience to speak to, training provides me with an opportunity to say, for the last 5 weeks, I've been working in a call center, and here are the types of calls I took, and I worked in this database, and my trainer, who was my supervisor, had these types of conversations with me, and this is how I used troubleshooting to get through various scenarios. So the trainings in themselves are things that our graduates use to speak to and hopefully help them get an edge up against maybe others who don't have that type of experience when they're applying for jobs.
Yeah. Alyssa, so we do have a question here. Kristen, we have a question here about, is the training virtual or in person, and how long is the training? You want to take that one for me?
Yeah, I would love to. Yep. So the training is in a virtual setting. Once learners are enrolled in the class, the instructor will share a link to a Zoom session. And then the session will actually be 5 weeks long. It is Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
And did you mention 5 weeks? I'm sorry, maybe I missed that part.
Yep.
The
It
five-
will
sorry.
be a 5-week class. It is a blended lesson format in this online virtual training, where most of the lessons are a blend of instructor lessons as well as independent work time for learners to practice their skills through interactive activities.
And I'll just point out a couple of cool things I know about is during office, one of the things they do is they create newsletters as a team. So Alyssa, maybe you could talk to that. What was it like creating the newsletter, and where were your teammates on the newsletter? Were they in Green Bay with you, or?
They were not in Green Bay with me. I can't remember exactly what county they were in, but it helped us to learn to like collaborate as a team. And so we made a newsletter. We all picked a topic. We picked Arizona. So we did letters on that. We had to learn to collaborate with the computer systems, and also delegate like the work that needed to be done, and then figure out how we're going to put it all together so it was like one piece. It was really fun, a great team building experience.
And this was something that has put them in good situation after the pandemic too, and we all went virtual for a while.
Brian, this is Vicki. I have one
Yeah.
comment about Alyssa. I was here when she first came in and certainly could see the difference from the time she started with our program, with her self-esteem. Everything just changed with this class. And we see that often with people. It's a huge self-esteem builder for individuals to complete something like that. And what a great opportunity for individuals that can't go to the tech school because of daycare or time. And the benefits of this short-term training are amazing. So I just wanted to say that I could tell the difference, and we see it every day when people complete these classes.
Thanks, Vicki. Alyssa, that's a great question. So how do you feel you grew through the class?
It completely changed my life, to be honest. Because when I lost my job as a waitress, I was even talking to someone that works here. I said, I'm only a waitress. And then, after taking the course, I realized I'm not only a waitress. I do have a lot of other skills, and I can, still learn no matter, I'm a little older. It helped me build my confidence completely. I taught me to be a professional in a different type of work environment. I excel really. I've been able to attend my kids for appointments. I have, paid time off for 1K. I even got a pop-up now. That's not something that I would have in a waitressing position. I don't believe that. So
Well, I'm jealous. I don't have a pop-up. That must be fun.
it is. Yes.
And Nicole, I know you didn't do the training. Well, how did you grow through your work through the W2 program? What are you proud of?
Honestly, new worker training for W2 is the beast.
It's intense.
I'm honestly really proud that I made it through my new worker training. I was able to complete all my online training in a matter of, I believe it was about 8 to 9 weeks. So I was pretty ecstatic because it was just like, just, online computer. And then just with my team, just getting to know my team and interacting with them. And then just learning how to approach different ways to process the eligibility applications through CWW.
I don't know if you haven't ever seen Harrison CWW. It is pretty it's intense to say the least. It's
Intimidating.
yeah, it is. So I have a couple questions here in the chat. And one, asked, are trainings available to individuals all over the state or just Dane County? Trevor or Kristen, you want to take that?
Yeah, I can speak to that. Trainings, office and call center professionals trainings, they are available to individuals throughout the state of Wisconsin. In order to enroll in training, the participant would need to be enrolled in the W-2 or FSET program. In addition, the learner would need to have a high school diploma or GED or HSED, or at least be taking classes toward earning that. If the participant is interested in joining training, they would simply let their case manager know that they're interested in getting registered for the next session. They would complete a digital literacy assessment and a typing test, and then the case manager would register that participant on our FSC training site.
So right now we have the trainings available in our service area, which is 41 counties. And we have a map. If you use the link I put in earlier, that could take you to our service map. So anybody in W2, we're also finishing up a deal with the Department of Workforce Development in a pilot program they're doing called Work Advance, where people who may not qualify for W2 or FSET can be put in the program too, and the state will pay for their tuition, we'll call it. And then we have a two-part question here about, do students get access to technology, and how do mothers get access to childcare? Those are two huge questions. I'll talk a little bit, I guess, and Trevor jump in too, about how we get them access to technology. Do you want to take that?
Yeah. So if you're enrolled into the W-2 or FSET program in any one of our 41 county service area, we can help get you, well, we call them loaner laptops. They're just laptops that we loan out to participants who might not have a personal computer or a laptop that meets the minimum requirements for training. So you don't even have to have a computer to take training with us. We can help get you a loaner laptop along with a headset, a webcam if you need one. Basically, any technology that you would need access to participate in our training, we can help secure for you. We don't want lack of access to technology to be a determining factor in whether or not you can take advantage of one of our training opportunities. And likewise, if I know a lot of our areas that we cover don't have excellent internet service, and that makes it hard to take a training online. So we also loan out Wi-Fi hotspots for anyone who doesn't have sufficient internet access or bandwidth to take one of our trainings. So we can get you set up with literally everything you need to participate.
Yeah, and it doesn't take care of everything, but it does help broaden it, because I think during the pandemic, when we were all home, that's one of the things we saw, is that the big difference between internet access or not having internet access, whether it was school or work. So hopefully the state of Wisconsin can keep leading the way and getting more people connected. Now, Sandy, I saw you were here. I can't see everybody at once, but can you talk a bit about how we may be able to help mothers get access to childcare to take the class? Are you here,
You're
Sandy?
talking to Sandy Turner?
Yeah, Sandy Turner. I'm sorry. Yes. I
Okay.
see we have two Sandys.
Yeah. Well, there is a childcare assistance program that will help cover the cost of childcare, and I refer everybody to that program. They get it through here in my counties, they get it through their food share worker, and then they can get a site and put their children in there. We also have, and maybe Kathy, if she's on here, could speak better to this. We also have some in my district, in Region 1, we have some sites that are specifically for W-2 participants who can get in and have childcare there. So
Great. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
And I will say, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Kristen, but we have had people take it that don't necessarily have childcare, but
true.
they take the class while there are children at home. It happens. We live in the real world, not some big ivory tower where we expect everything to be perfect, because the important thing is, we help them take the classes, and we're flexible. So let's see. So we have another question about, if the individual does not have W-2 but does have FSET, does it have to be with FSC in order for them to qualify for the training? Yes and no. I mean, we do have seats for purchase, and we have that done. That was part of the agreement we did with the state. So that is a possibility if you're looking for that. But in the regions where we do provide FSET, it would be, if you referred them to them and they joined, it wouldn't cost anything. So it's more of a kind of a case by case basis, but give us a shout, and we can see what we could work out. And then Vicky asked, are the call center and office the only two ones that we currently train in? Yes, at the moment, those are the two big ones right now. Those are the ones that are most in demand. I would say particularly because of the flexibility. And I wanted to ask this question of Alyssa and Nicole. As mothers who are going through the program, who now, who they now work for us, what would you like people to know about your experience as moms, and how we can support moms in getting back into the workforce?
I would have to say that it helps you to figure out what the average work day is going to be like. That is really important. And then you're getting the experience before you get the jobs. What kind of backup plans you need to have, or what kind of systems work for you, or how to prepare for the job that you want. So that has to be really helpful.
Great. Nicole, what would you want people to know about how we can support moms?
I would say set expectations. I guess for myself, I like to know exactly what I'm going into, so that way I can make my plan of action prior to jumping in. I like to plan out, just know what my days are going to be like, what a typical day is, what a typical rough day may look like, what an easy day may look like. Support wise, childcare is a huge thing. I struggled with that when my kids were younger. Of course, after COVID, childcare it's hard to find from what I've heard. It's, of course, just I'm not experiencing that myself at this point in my life.
One
I
of the
would
good things about
say,
having teenagers, huh?
except when they want to borrow cars and they want to hitch up for money, and it's I guess it's really just setting that expectation and letting a parent know, letting a mother know, this is what your day is going to be. Hey, if you are in need of childcare, these are some childcare centers that others have used and have found success with them. I think always just trying to say, hey, well, we know this place, check them out. And then just support wise is, I guess honestly, it's just having expectations set for you, and just being just, I guess, an outlet also. Because I know there's been times where I just need an outlet, and it's like, okay, Sandy, I'm gonna give you a call. So Sandy, like I said, Sandy Turner has been a great outlet for me.
Oh, so what was that experience like? What kind of support did she provide for you?
I like to crack jokes. Anytime I needed to talk, she was a phone call away. If I was concerned with anything, or if I was just having an off day, or she was there. She also was there to give me a reality check, hey, you need to start focusing on this. Look into doing your W-2 activities, submit your logs. So she was a huge support in my life. Well, she still is.
Alyssa, Nicole, what would you say are one or two key things that we could do to help mothers succeed these days?
To help I mainly would be provide those resources. I think having resources in hand and knowing that these are not 10 to 15 numbers that you're gonna call and you're gonna end up with dead ends is a huge game changer, especially I know if it's like, okay, I have all these numbers, but no one's available or they're no longer in service or they don't offer this anymore. So I think it's just making sure that whatever information you provide to a parent, make sure it's current and up to date. And then just if there's any questions, just guidance. Sometimes just a little guidance and just some talk, of positive, motivation of how things can better, how things can change. You could take this class and wind up in a whole different profession of, something that you didn't think was going to be for you, like in Alyssa's case, like she mentioned. And then I just think honestly, it's just networking with each other, encouraging other mothers to network with one another, to be each other's support too.
What about you, Alyssa?
I would have to say, just share information about the program as much as you can and let, mothers know, because I think when a person finds themselves in that situation of a crisis of like, I don't know what to do next. Like when I lost my job, waitressing, I didn't know what to do. And then just sharing with them, that it can be done. Your life can be completely different in a matter of weeks. And just somehow share with them how it can be done, because I had no idea I was going to be offered childcare to take this class, all that stuff. I could just share the program pretty much.
I was wondering so we have some people, obviously people from different organizations, and I see Teresa from the Y and Kristy from St. Vincent Society of St. Vincent de Paul. What are you hearing from mothers these days about what they need to be successful? Would you mind sharing?
Hi, Chris with YWCA. I am a child and family advocate, and I work in our Alternatives to Violence program, which is our like immediate for when people are first in domestic violence. At our transitional permanent housing. So I get to see parents in both sides of it. In the initial, when they're trying to, just regroup, give themselves and their kids, and when they are now in their own house and starting over a little bit more. The struggle we have with child care. Doing the job to get the child care through guys' programs, but they can't do the interview if they don't have care.
Mm-hmm. Kristy, what about you? What are you hearing from your clients, maybe mothers? And if you are talking, you're on mute. And I do that myself all the time. Okay. Let me see here. So what would you say the takeaway is for people? I mean, if people are working with moms these days and maybe thinking about Wisconsin Works, Alyssa and Nicole, what would you say? What would you say to them?
I would say that it's a complete life change to self-sufficiency. I mean, I don't really need assistance from the states or anything to help me feed my kids or any of that stuff anymore. It's just been a complete life change for me and my kids.
Awesome. Nicole, what about you?
I agree with Alyssa. The W-2 program can help you work towards changing your circumstances and changing your life. with explaining the W-2 program to people. It's all really about putting in the work yourself, though, too. You have to want to actually work towards these goals that you're setting for yourself, and really hold yourself accountable for achieving what you need to achieve.
That's great. How do you both feel about what's your future? What are your dreams, as we say at FSC all the time?
Oh, I have so many dreams. Ideally, my dream right now, where I'm at in my life, I want to see my kids graduate from high school, and I want to continue to watch them grow into mature, kind, thoughtful, smart, hardworking young adults. Once I get them to that point, I'm going to, of course, continue to work on my dreams, but right now they're my focus, and where I'm at with FSC, I'm happy. I guess I'm content right now. And, my goal is to focus on them and get them graduated from high school.
Lisa, what about you?
Well, a lot of what Nicole said, I'd have to agree. But my dream is to keep helping people in emergency assistance, and to use my PTO for as much camping trips as I can and spend that time with my children. That's my goal right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions? That's what I have. And Trevor and Kristen, do you have any final words on training?
Yeah, I just wanted to build on a point that was mentioned by, I think both Alyssa and Nicole, and that one of the unintended consequences of our training, meaning we didn't set out to make training specifically for this, but is the camaraderie that people feel when they join training. I know childcare is a huge concern, and it's expensive, and it's hard to find. One of the great things about joining training is you're often taking training with a lot of other moms who are in similar situations, and therefore you've got access to a bunch of different moms who have maybe different resources than you have, or are connected to different organizations or people. And in every one of our trainings that I've seen take place with FSC, there's groups of people that go into training that are a bit apprehensive, maybe a bit anxious. It's a big step to take a professional's training, a big positive step, but they leave having a sense of camaraderie with a bunch of new friends and people they really do call friends. And at the end of training, they're sharing phone numbers with one another, and they're friending each other on Facebook. And that's not something we design training to do, but it's something inevitably our graduates walk away with, is a list. I'll go old school and call it a Rolodex of people they can maybe rely on for resources and friendship and sharing struggles and solutions together. That was a huge piece that we hear over and over again.
Point.
Yes, I couldn't agree more with Trevor. That is exactly what I've seen, leading the trainings for office and call center professionals, that, learners, they come out of training with support. They have encouragement, not only from their instructor, but from their classmates as well, and even beyond graduation day. And I also see time and time again, learners coming out of training with a stronger level of confidence in their skills and their abilities, even realizing the transferable skills they have from previous positions and how those skills can be used in their dream job in a call center or office professional setting. So it's great to be able to witness that in training.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen here again. So I had a great question about, are there any support groups for mothers or parents or classes like that already? And I don't know, somebody said there is one in Rock County. I know, is that the fatherhood program they have there?
No, the one in Rock County is actually put on, I believe, through CPS, but you don't have to have CPS involvement. Hi, Trevor. Hold on, I'll turn my camera on. Do you remember me? It's Carrie.
I'm having trouble seeing you right now. I think it's the lighting.
Yeah, it is. I used to do the Jefferson County program for you guys for W2.
Oh, hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been with the county for 5 years now. Crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, Rock County does have a parent supporting parents group.
Oh, awesome.
It's put on through CPS, but you don't have to have CPS involvement to join. So it's just a way for, and it could, I don't know if it's geared more towards mothers or fathers. I don't work in CPS. I work in CCS. I will say that's one of the things my kiddos' parents are concerned about is like mental health. Like, how does that play into, because COVID caused a lot of that.
Yeah.
But if anybody is down in Rock County, there is a giant sign when you walk into the new job center. It's called the DWRC now, that just talks about whatever. But if Brian and Trevor, if you guys want, I can obtain that information and maybe send it your way, because maybe Dane County CPS is putting on something as well.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're
And
welcome.
we'll share that out with everybody. So maybe there are similar programs in your areas. Okay. Share my screen here. Come on, share. Okay. I think, one of the takeaways I heard from a lot of people is flexibility and support. One of the reasons we chose the call center as a industry is because of the flexibility. We have a lot of graduates who are working at home. So they may live in Rhinelander, but they're working for a call center in Manitowoc. So that's worked out well. And bookmark us if you would. You can we put out new information there. If you ever want to refer somebody to us, if you say, hey, we could work together to help this client, here is a link. And again, you'll get this slide deck when we're done. And then feedback. If there are things you want to talk about, if I mentioned access, and that didn't get a huge marketing campaign or anything behind it. If that's something that interests you, let us know. We would love to provide information that you can really use. And then we are on social media like everybody these days. We focus mostly on these four, so LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So if there are no questions, I think we will call it a day. And I want to thank you all very much for participating. I want to thank our speakers, Alyssa, Nicole, Kristen, and Trevor. Thank you so much for the great information you provided. And again, as I said before, if you have questions, give us a shout. We're always open to talk. I know we talked about whether somebody's an FSET or whether we have to run it, but we're all about solutions. So let's try to figure out some way we can make it work, because like you, we want to help people escape poverty and build a more sustainable future for themselves and their families. All right. Oh, I got 2 more messages here. I got to scroll down. The Welcome Baby program in Green Bay. Okay, with new moms. Great. Yeah, and if you ever have questions, feel free to give us a shout. We're always happy to talk.
I can add on to that, Brian, too. If you're ever interested in observing one of our trainings, feel free to reach out, and we'd love to have you hop on for a morning or an afternoon and see what training is like, so that we can you've got a better idea of what it looks like and what participants are doing with firsthand experience.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day and enjoy the nice weather.